Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome to Wayne's Sharp World. It's a special day here, as today is the first episode from the channel. The first of many, hopefully. I plan on providing you guys a lot of good content of knives that you want to see and topics that interest you regarding knives. So please feel free in the comments. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what knives you're excited to come out. I'll get my hands on them and we'll get some reviews, first impressions, unboxings, all sorts of stuff going. So feel free to let me know what you want to see and do my best to get it out to you. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the CJRB Feldspar. And this is the Blade HQ exclusive model with green micarta and brass hardware. Some brass standoffs, and then you see the little pivot collar there in brass. Complements the green micarta fantastically. Overall, this is a very solid knife. One of the best budget offerings I've ever seen. So we'll cover it all here shortly. First, we'll go through some specs on the knife. The overall length at 8.125 inches. Blade length at 3.5 inches. Cutting edge at 3.375 inches. Blade width at 1.125. Blade thickness at 0.125. And right behind the edge, we're looking at about 22 thousandths behind the edge, which is definitely thin enough to get any EDC job done. And also be a respectable slicer. Not the sliciest, but like I said, it's no slouch either. Blade material of D2 with a drop point style blade with a flat grind and a stonewash finish. Handle length at 4.625 inches. Handle width at 1.25 inches. Handle thickness at 0.55 inches. Weight 4.14 ounces. Pocket clip. Left or right, tip up only, deep carry. Your typical budget style pocket clip, which is plenty good enough. Plenty good enough for what you're paying. And of course, being a CJRB, this is out of China. CJRB, I'm sure as many of you know, is kind of the smaller company to Artisan Cutlery, very similar to what Civivi is to We. So and as Civivi, the CJRB has been spitting out some really good stuff lately. This is one of them, and we'll show another one here very shortly as we'll get into some size comparisons. We'll start off with a couple that everyone know and love, the PM2 and the Benchmade Bug Out. And as you can see, it's very close to the PM2, if not exactly the same overall length. Very, very close. A little more cutting edge than the PM2 and slightly bigger than the Bug Out, with also slightly more of a cutting edge on that. So two pretty good comparisons to give you an idea of the actual size of this knife. And then we'll also take a look at a few Civivi superstars, the Civivi Elementum and the Civivi Praxis. Again, slightly smaller than the Praxis and definitely bigger than the Elementum in just about every way possible, as the Elementum is definitely a smaller EDC. But keep in mind, if you like the Elementum, Blade HQ has another version of this exact knife releasing in a 3-inch blade, so that will be right up your alley if you're looking for something closer to the Elementum. So definitely something to look forward to. And it sounds like it'll be coming out relatively soon, I think. One more size comparison, and this is to another CJRB knife, and this is the other one I was talking about. This one is amazing. This is the CJRB Centros. This is a Dylan Mallory design, and you definitely see some similarities to these knives. Definitely a little bit more of a, I guess, a stabby looking blade on the Centros. Not to say anything bad about it. I love the knife. I'm someone who doesn't really, obviously I don't think I'd carry this to church, but outside of that, I think I'd take it just about anywhere with me, as law permitting. But the CJRB is definitely more of a, I think, a gentleman's carry, or a little more of a kind of less intimidating workplace carry, especially with the micarta and brass. Or there's a brown G10 version, which is pretty nice too. Kind of calming colors, a little more accepting of non-knife people, I guess you can call them. But very close to this, very good comparison. The Centros, Centros has the edge on this knife in just one part: detent. The detent on this knife is absolutely fantastic. It's, I would say, perfect for a budget knife. It doesn't get any better. The detent on this guy is strong, to put it nicely. It's not bad, but it's, well, first the action. The action is great. The action, when you figure out the detent, this thing flies out every time. Not even trying real hard, it pops right out. The problem with this detent is it's so strong. It's very hard. I would say still, I don't even try it. The index flick, not going to try it. Spidey flick, not going to try it because I'll look stupid on camera because it won't work. But your thumb, it's working every single time. Now, I definitely recommend, though, to deploy this, don't put your thumb behind it like this. And that's the mailman. We're going to have a mail call here pretty soon, guys. Probably tomorrow if some new knives come in. But anyway, back to this. Do not put your thumb right behind it to do that. You can, and it works, but you feel that. Your thumb yells at you a little. So I wouldn't recommend that. Take the, just this little, kind of the fat tip of your thumb, put it right there, and just flies out. It push on it, and it flies out. You don't need to try following it all the way up with your thumb. Gravity takes over, momentum takes over, inertia, or any word you want to use, and it flies out, and it's good to go. And it's a satisfying flip. It's fidgety. It has a great fidget factor. Once you get used to it, you can do this all day, and it's pretty fun. And when you do deploy this, you see a blade that is, like I said before, just a great utilitarian shape to the blade. Extremely useful. Nice strong tip. I wouldn't worry about snapping, obviously. If you want to pry something open, I wouldn't use a knife as a pry bar, but regardless, this is D2 is a strong enough steel to where you can get a lot of work done with this knife, and not worry too much about chipping it or breaking it or anything like that. I would like to see a little more jimping on the spine here, or some jimping, because there's no jimping at all. But when you hold it in hand, I want to put my finger here, and I want to feel jimping, and there's none. So I would like to see a little jimping there. That would have made this a little better, but, I mean, I'm kind of nitpicking for, like I said, for the price range of this knife, you're kind of reaching to really want to add something to this for the money you're giving out for it. You can choke up. I feel totally comfortable choking up and using this. I did it a couple times, cutting some cardboard and doing a little kind of little picking and carving it, little things, and it worked fine. Never cut myself. Never started to feel pain or discomfort. So I would say this is a go. Just be cautious. Always be aware. Last thing you want to do is cut yourself. That's not fun. But yeah, as for the D2, like I said, I live in the Midwest, so the D2, it will rust a little. A lot of people say D2 rusts very little, and it doesn't rust much, but when you're around real humid weather a lot throughout the year, which I am, and you sweat a lot like I do, I'm a sweater, so my hands sweat a little more. You can probably see some steam markings on the knife just from the heat of my hands, and there's definitely a little sweat that gets on this, and I'll see a little corrosion on my D2 knives. I use some spray that works pretty well, just a green EDCI, I believe is what it's called. You just spray it on, wipe it off. Works pretty well, but again, you could still see a little rust over time, but nothing really significant either. Not enough to scare me away from buying this knife, which is, like I said before, just a fantastic deal. And come on, it's brass in my Micarta. Anything with those two options on a knife is going to have my attention, and this one as well. It didn't disappoint. So yeah, the action, it flies out, fantastic action, all day rocking it out. It almost feels like it's assisted when you get it down and you get the thumb stud and detent down. It feels assisted, so I love that. I don't like assisted knives, but I like the feeling of an assisted knife, knowing that I don't have to use two hands to close it. And this is pretty drop shutty. Not completely drop shutty, but you don't get a whole lot better than that, especially for the money you're putting back into this. You keep going back to it, and it is just a value. It's a fantastic deal, and I wouldn't, even if they didn't change one thing to the knife, I'd buy this over and over and over again, no problem, and I would not regret it. Handling the clip. The clip, deep carry, it's your regular standard deep carry clip that you see on a lot of budget knives. The CJRBs, Civivis, they all have kind of the same standard deep carry clip. This one is a little different, but does the job just as well as all the rest of them. Got enough high enough ramp to go into the beginning of your pocket. This spot back here, could the screws be recessed? Yeah, of course they could, and it would look a lot better if the screws were recessed, but the last thing I'm going to do is pick apart a knife of this quality and this price and say, oh, I want recessed screws. You're asking a little too much there. I mean, I do think someday that'll probably be standard because, these budget knives are getting better and better and better, and eventually, who knows where it's going to get to, but you're always trying to up the game and get better. It's real exciting to see where budget knives are going in the next couple of years because they just keep getting, when I was a kid, a knife like this, $150 minimum $150, and you're talking a third of that price, which is just fantastic. The micarta on this, when I was reading the description of this on Blade HQ, they specifically mentioned American sourced quality micarta, and I kind of thought that was just a gimmicky advertisement line to help get your attention. But I gotta say, this is really nice micarta, really good quality. The texture, the weave or grain, whatever you want to call it, of the micarta, looks great. It feels really good in hand. It's not turning super dark real quick, which that kind of bothers me with some micarta. I like it turning dark and I like the patina, but I don't want, this nice, texture and kind of pattern you see here. I don't like to see that all just turn dark green and kind of flood it out, and that's not happening, which I really like. And I've used this knife going on 5 days straight now. It's been in the pocket for all 5 of those days. It's done a pretty good amount of work, and it's been patinaing slowly and nicely, which personally I prefer. So I'm a big fan of that. The ergos are very solid, very good in hand. Like I said, a little jimping there would be kind of the cherry on top, but again, no complaints. I feel the pocket clip. Guys, I'm not going to be someone to really pick apart a knife for a hot spot. It's got to be a really bad hot spot to get my attention and make me throw that up as something to look out for, be careful, because maybe my hands are a little more callous than the average person, but it just feels great to me. I do feel it, but again, I wouldn't necessarily call it a hot spot. Something's really got to be poking me good to call it a hot spot, and I just don't feel that. So definitely no marks there. All in all, just a very, very solid offering. The Blade HQ is currently sold out of the 3.5-inch model, but I have a feeling there's going to be more coming in. I reached out to him to try and get an answer. As soon as I get that answer, I'll put it in the comments below. So feel free to check that out, or just zip over to Blade HQ and take a look and see if they have more coming, or keep an eye out for that 3-inch model too, because the 3-inch model will be, I think, even more popular than this, because as we know, state laws, a lot of them require a blade of 3 inches or smaller. So that one's going to go faster than this one. This one's sold out in, I think, like 3 or 4 days. So not as fast as I thought it would, but it's still sold out. That 3-inch model, I would think that would sell out in 2 days. It's going to go fast, if not a lot faster than that, because I think as people got these, I haven't seen any reviews up of the green micarta version. So here's this, but it also just works out for the entire Feldspar. Just a great solid knife. If you can't get it in micarta, there's still great G10 options where they're even cheaper. I think they're $34.95 in G10. You cannot beat that. If you're not a micarta nut and you don't care, go get the G10 version for $35. They're just as nice. My G10 version of the Centros is phenomenal. I love everything about it. So take a look at them. Go check them out. follow the release for the 3-inch micarta version if micarta's your thing. I guarantee you'll like this. Hopefully the detents are a little softer. And if you have a Feldspar, even if it's the G10 model, let me know how your detent is. Let me know if it's is it super strong, or can you Spidey flick? If you can Spidey flick it, it's not as bad as this, because you can't. There's no Spidey flick in this. Anyone that can Spidey flick this would thoroughly impress me. We'll put it that way. But that's all I got for this one, guys. This is a solid EDC knife at in my opinion, a no questions asked, perfect price. So keep your eyes out for it. Pick up a G10 or wait for the green micarta to come out. Definitely a nice addition to either a budget collector, budget user, anyone that's just trying to find a knife under $75. This is a great one. So that's that. You guys will see more from me. Please, if you like this, or watch me grow as a YouTuber, because I'm gonna get better. I'm a little nervous for this one, but it's actually turned out pretty well. So I definitely plan on spitting out a lot more content. Please give me a follow if you want to, and see how I do for the next few episodes. And then if I still suck, kick me to the road and say bye. Whatever you think is good. But no, please give me a follow, give me a like. Let me know what you think, and look forward to talking to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.